Welcome everyone. I'm just going to get started. So we have a lot to talk about. And instead of doing the meditation, I figured we need to talk about this stuff. I'm going to move my screen. So this is today's date on the 16th. Just kind of want to go over what's going on. We have a lot coming, especially like in the next week. And then we got a storm of retrogrades coming. So now is the time to move forward. Now is the time. I know everybody's scared. I know some people don't like change, but it is the time to move, because if you guys remember what happened last summer when we were trying to make stuff go forward and it wasn't moving and we were frustrated, but it's because we hadn't made complete decisions about what we want to do. Now is that time to get very, very clear. You don't necessarily have to move forward. It should come to you to make those decisions. But what you want to do is you want to be clear about the decisions that you're making, about when something comes to you as an opportunity. You want to be able to say yes, 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 because we're about to go into that same sort of energy with the retrograde, and we don't want to do it like we did the last time. We want to be really clear so that yeah, we're going to pivot here, we're going to pivot there, but we've got a lot of planets going retrograde till the end of, I think it's the second week in February. That's when we finally get relieved of all the retrogrades. Like it's going to be pretty intense. So Venus, remember, we had this solar eclipse here. You see all of these. Remember the sun, Chiron, Mercury, the North Node. So the sun, remember, the sun always shines brightly. It's going to illuminate. It's your ego. It's you seeing clearly. It's clearing things up for you. We had that Chiron moving through this North Node. We've now passed that solar eclipse. So opportunities should be coming towards you guys. This isn't any work that you have to do. You've already done the work. This is just, oh, when something comes, you don't get scared and you just do it, right? You're like, yeah, I did want to manifest that. Yeah, I was thinking about that back then. Yeah, that I was thinking about that this winter and last, in the fall. That's the North Node. These opportunities should be coming to you. With Mercury, that's why I'm saying, oops, sorry. With Mercury, that's why I'm saying that you should be getting news. You should be getting things that you see, opportunities that come up. Like all of a sudden somebody comes to you and says something and you're like, yeah, I did want to do that. Kind of like that. That's the processing. Or even you could see a situation that you hadn't seen before, where Mercury is, now that we're through that North Node, or going through that North Node, Mercury wants to give you and help you process that, where you're like, you know what, that was a pattern that I had. I don't want to do that anymore. Now that this opportunity is coming, I'm going to do it a different way, right? That's how clear I want y'all to be. I don't think that you're not clear. I just want you to remember the things that you have been trying to manifest, the things that you have been saying that you wanted. And it may not come, but it may not come the way that you imagined it, but that's the beauty of life. And you never know, you may get something bigger and better, that like it's your dream and then more, right? Your things and then more. And the reason I say this is because this is about to go conjunct tomorrow. I'll show you the screen in just a minute. Venus, the North Node, look at all of these. The North Node, Chiron. So Chiron may make you, I told you that's a wound, but you may be jolted for a second. You may be jolted for a second. Or it may have caused you to pause and be like, oh, wow, I can't believe I'm here. But you kind of see where it can be more open. You kind of see that it's not the way that it was last time. It's a wound, and the wound we don't heal. We learn to work with it, and in that becomes the healing. I'm going to do a video specifically about Chiron, and I have done a video saying the difference between Chiron and Pluto, because Pluto's trauma. Okay, that's hurt. They're both hurt, but one's a wound, one's trauma. This can be relieved, released, and this is released in a different way. Okay, so today, you may have gotten news because we have Mercury, but it's all going on your new path. This is something that you've been wishing for. This is something that you've been really wanting. This is something that you've been trying to manifest. This is something that you have been dreaming of, been envisioning, been um, seeing the way that you wanted it to be. Hold on just a second. I'm sorry. I'm a lefty. Sorry about that. Okay. So as this has been approaching the North Node, you may have gotten news. You may have seen some things, like I said. But this is Venus. This is your worth. This is your um, resources, your money, your um, and when I say your resources, it's like what's come from you, right? So this could be opportunities coming to you. This could be, and because it's Mercury right there, also I think it's like news, or it's a way, or it's a thing that you see. Okay, so that's what's kind of going on now. That's going to be like, this is really important here, and this is all in Aries. So wherever Aries is for you, that's a focus point for you guys, right? That's a focus point for all of us. That's where Aries is. But we have this over here coming on Wednesday. That's tomorrow. Okay. And that's the big thing. So I would like for each of you to think back. What was I doing in 1990, at the end of 96 into 97? And then in 2010 to 2011? Because the last time these two were here, it's every 14 years. So if you can think about, like, I think it was like February of 97. Yeah, so like the beginning of 97, the end of 96. That's when these two were conjunct again. Conjunct. So if you can think about what's happening in your life at that time, and then think about what was happening in 2010. I think it was the spring of 2010, 2011, 2000, maybe even some of you 2009. Some big events that happened, because this is Jupiter and this is Uranus. Okay, can y'all see that? And the other, and I'm going to go over this in just a second. The other thing, because this is just for today, the other thing is Pluto. Don't forget about Pluto, right? He's aspecting. He's talking to this this group of people, this group of part of you, right? He's talking to them. He's like, don't forget about this stuff. Don't forget about it's almost like when you see this stuff, you're releasing this stuff. That's what I feel like. I feel like as this stuff comes to you, and as you become brave, and as you, I don't think you become brave. I think you've always been brave. You just kind of get sidetracked sometimes. We all do, right? And then if we think about it and tell ourselves the truth about ourselves, we're like, you know what? I can handle, I've done well. I've done really well. As you're doing that, some of you will realize that's the generational stuff. I'm just going to give you a scenario. I have anxiety because my whole family's had anxiety. I have, whatever, heart attacks, or I have depression because it's been in my family. I have, anger issues, or I have whatever these traumas are, abandonment. And I've done some of my Pluto series. As soon as I get settled in, I'm trying to work on the rest of the Pluto series. I got about 5 more houses to do. But this is really, really important, because he's talking, and I'm seeing that as you guys get through this, as you say, yes, I am doing this. Yes, I've been okay. Yes, I am stronger than I thought I was. I can do things that I didn't think I could. And I don't have the stuff in my head telling me I can't, and I'm not worth it, I'm not da-da-da, all of that. Like, I think a lot of us are realizing that. And as you're doing that, that's releasing this, okay? Pluto this is as far as he's going to get right now, is the 2nd degree. Okay, so he's really talking and having you release this stuff. And that's why the Pluto series was so important to me, because I knew this group could do this. I knew that you could do this. This is what I was being told. It's time to release this stuff. So for right now, he's going to be this is as far as he goes right now. And then this is why this is important. Because we have Mercury retrograde, right? So we are reevaluating, reassessing, redoing, readjusting, right? That's what we're doing with the Mercury as we're processing, as these gifts are coming in, as this Chiron we're seeing. We're like really thinking about that stuff. We're really processing that stuff. And as Pluto is talking to them and we're releasing that stuff and we're realizing that's my generation. That's my DNA, but that doesn't mean that that's all of me, right? Like I no longer have to do that anymore. I no longer have to worry about that anymore. I no longer have to be afraid anymore. I no longer have to have that trauma anymore. He is about to go back into Capricorn, and we talked about this. And this is why this is important, because Mercury is going to end retrograde on the 25th. And then so right now, all these things, don't be afraid. Take your chance. Do your thing. Make your choice. Don't sit in it. You're going to have all summer and next fall and next winter to sit in it if you want. Right now, whatever comes to you, you make the choice. Be brave. Do you. You've done it before. You can do this. I believe in you. I know that you can do this, because the 25th, he goes direct, right? And then you got 7 days before we hit Pluto retrograde, which reassess, redo, rethink, readjust, all of the re's, remember? But not only that, from that point on, we are going to have a retrograde. A planet is going to go retrograde in July or June. 2 of them are going to go retrograde. But a planet is going to go retrograde all the way until December. So every month, a planet is going retrograde. So we are going to have, in the winter, like 5, 6 planets retrograde. So we are really going to be feeling that, oh my God, why can't anything move forward? This is why I want you to take your chance now. Do your choice. But this is not something that you go after. This is something that's coming to you. So right now that things are coming to you, right now that you get an opportunity, take it. Because every month after this, once this goes retrograde, remember, 25th, 25th, Mercury goes direct, and then we got 7 days, Pluto goes retrograde.